Now, today's top stories and Power of 5 weather from News 5. Sponsored by Akron Children's Hospital.
Good Sunday morning, Northeast Ohio. Since 1980, the state of Ohio has had 8 governors. The Cleveland Indians, now Guardians, have had 13 managers, and the Cleveland Browns have had 17 head coaches. But on the flip side of that, the city of Cleveland, they've only had 4 people serve as mayor, and the old 21st, now 11th district congressional seat has only had 3 people hold it. The numbers in the last 2, they changed this week. We begin this morning with the election of Justin Bibb as Cleveland mayor, a solid victory over Council President Kevin Kelly Tuesday. A few hours later, Bibb hit the ground running. Still riding the high off a win he called a mandate for change, Justin Bibb started off his first day as mayor-elect on Good Morning Cleveland.
Did you sleep at all?
A couple hours.
Couple of hours, okay, couple of hours.
Sleep indeed will come later for the 34-year-old nonprofit executive who reached Cleveland's highest elective office in his very first run for public office. He says he plans to make the most of the 59 days he has between his victory and the raising of his right hand.
We're going to hit the ground running in terms of identifying a group of community leaders and residents and business leaders to support our transition process. And we have to continue to listening to the voters about what our priorities should be and how we set the right tone for the first 100 days of our administration.
A major issue in the campaign was Issue 24, which creates a civilian review board to deal with police discipline. While it passed by a near 60-40 vote, Bibb says this is the beginning of the process, not the end.
We need to have more honest conversations about how we get policing right, working with law enforcement, the police union, clergy and residents and victims of police brutality, and setting the right conversation to make sure we can come together and unify our city around this issue for the future.
A future that will include a new chief of police, as Calvin Williams announced Friday. He will be stepping down from the post come January 3rd.
I love the city and I want this city to be successful. So I'm going to sit down with anybody and everybody over the next 58 days that wants to know what the status is of this division. How do we move forward? Some of the do's and don'ts, just basically in processes to make sure that people understand those. And again, hopefully build on those and make things better in the future.
The man Justin Bibb replaces in City Hall, Frank Jackson, is a former city council president who always had a good working relationship with his. On Friday, Bibb learned his council president will be Councilman Blaine Griffin.
Change was a mandate this past Tuesday. The citizens of this community want to see change. They don't want to just see change in an academic sense. They want to see change in a way that they can touch, feel, and see in their communities and their neighborhood.
Well, as we mentioned, a new era also begins in Congress this week as Chantel Brown was elected to represent the 11th Congressional District. Brown fills the seat vacated earlier this year by Marcia Fudge when she became HUD Secretary. As a result, Brown was immediately sworn into office on Thursday.
I believe that public service is always about putting the people first, because I believe that now, with the eyes of history upon us, it is time to build a more just and more equitable future.
Welcoming Chantel Brown to Congress on Thursday was the Dean of the Ohio delegation, Marcy Kaptur, who was first elected to Congress back in 1982 in the Democratic wave of Ronald Reagan's first midterm. While she was doing that on Thursday back in Columbus, the Ohio House and Senate were holding separate hearings on new congressional district maps that they're considering, maps that very much put her future in Congress in doubt.
Good morning. I'm Congresswoman Marcy Kaptur. I represent the 9th District of Ohio.
For 38 years, Democrat Marcy Kaptur has represented Ohio in Congress. In 2018, she became the longest-serving woman in the history of the U.S. House of Representatives, drawing praise from both Democrats and Republicans.
You have been a tireless advocate for your principles, your point of view, and you have done it with honor and distinction. And with that is a phenomenal example for all of us.
But under 2 of the 3 maps being debated this week in the State House and Senate, her seat that currently stretches from Toledo to Cleveland would be almost impossible for a Democrat to win. Both the House and Senate GOP proposals move Kaptur into a Republican-leaning district, with the House proposal going so far as to split Toledo.
Well, I wasn't expecting anything better.
News 5, the first to speak with the Congresswoman in between votes in the House. That Toledo was broken up, lessening its Democratic impact, she said, is not a surprise.
What they've done throughout the state, John, is they have basically cracked metropolitan communities and have moved districts to very awkward configurations.
That's why at those hearings in Columbus,
Toledo should be anchoring its own district. It should be in like communities.
advocates made their case for keeping Toledo whole and keeping districts fair. If not, Captor tells me,
I would think that the courts would be engaged, yes.
and that's because the constitutional amendment approved by voters in 2018 that set up this process put into protections to make it more likely for the districts to be legally challenged if they are indeed gerrymandered. Now, next year's elections may seem far off, but remember the filing deadline for these still undrawn districts is only February 2nd. With Democracy 2021, I'm John Kasich. Enjoy your Sunday.
Of course, it's fall back today, so the sun was up an hour earlier, and it will set an hour earlier as well, around 5:15. Remember, you can use this opportunity to change the batteries in your smoke detector, carbon monoxide. Otherwise, today's going to be a lovely day. This Sunday, 60 degrees. Tonight, 42 with some patchy fog. I think the temperatures continue to climb. By Monday, even warmer, middle 60s. A few showers Tuesday, Wednesday, but a better chance as we move toward the end of the week, and that will cause our temperatures to crash.
Sponsored by Akron Children's Hospital.